In Japan, people have been growing full fruit trees in pots for over 400 years. In Italy, lemon trees line apartment balconies from Naples to Milan. In Morocco, fig trees grow in clay pots on rooftops in the middle of the city. Container fruit growing isn't a modern hack or a social media trend. It's an ancient practice that the rest of the world never forgot, and that most Western gardeners are only now rediscovering. A single container tree, the right one in the right pot, can produce 5,100, sometimes over 200 pounds of fresh fruit every single year. The knowledge has always been there. The trees have always been there. And the space, you've had it all along. One tree, one pot. Benefits that compound every single year. These 10 fruit trees have been thriving in small spaces across cultures for centuries. It's time to bring that tradition to your balcony, starting with the tree that's been grown in pots longer than any other on this list. You'll want to see that one first. Before you keep watching, comment your state. If you ignore your USDA zone, you might pick the wrong plants from the start. I'll be pointing out the right zones as we go watch for yours. 10. The pomegranate. Most people view these as exotic, high-maintenance luxuries that require vast, sun-drenched orchards. In reality, they are the ultimate survivalists of the container gardening world. Specifically, dwarf varieties like the Nana or State Fair are absolute powerhouses in small spaces. Here is the secret: pomegranates actually thrive when their roots are slightly contained. They don't need deep, sprawling earth. They are perfectly content in a 15 to 20-gallon pot. If you're gardening on a budget, don't buy expensive ceramic. Ask a local bakery for their leftover food-grade buckets. They're free and perfect for this. One established dwarf tree can gift you up to 30 ruby red antioxidant-packed fruits a year. At current organic prices, that's nearly $100 back in your pocket from just one pot. What makes them truly beginner-proof is their resilience. Pomegranates are incredibly drought-tolerant. If you're a busy creator or professional and forget to water them during a hectic week, they won't just die on you, they'll forgive you. It's the perfect, low-effort, high-reward tree to start your balcony orchard. 9. The fig. A tree that thrives on a little bit of tough love. If you've ever worried that a small pot would stifle your plants, the fig is here to prove you wrong. While most trees crave deep, expansive soil, figs actually thrive when their roots are restricted. When you grow them in a container, the plant realizes it can't keep sprawling outward, so it pivots all its life force into producing heavy crops of honey-sweet fruit. It's basically a biological hack for more harvests. I highly recommend varieties like the Chicago Hardy or the Petite Negra. These are productivity machines designed for container life. I've seen single-potted figs produce over 100 fruits in one summer. That is a massive return on investment for such a small footprint. Plus, for those in colder regions, figs are nearly bulletproof. They fruit on new wood, meaning even if a brutal winter freezes the tree back, it will sprout again in spring and still feed you by August. Fresh figs are a high-end luxury often priced at $10 for a tiny, fragile pack at the store. Your balcony version will be juicier, sweeter, and infinitely fresher. Are you ready to turn your balcony into a fruit paradise? Comment "ready" below if you're committed to planting your first tree, and let's track your harvest journey together. 8. The blueberry. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine spent 3 years trying to grow blueberries in her backyard. She spent a fortune on fertilizers, but every year the leaves turned yellow and the plants withered. She was ready to give up until I told her to move them into a pot. The secret blueberries are the divas of the plant world. They demand highly acidic soil pH, 4.5 to 5.5 to survive. In a vast garden, you're fighting the entire Earth's chemistry, a battle you'll likely lose. But in a container, you are the master of the environment. By simply using an azalea potting mix, she created a customized VIP lounge for her plants. Within one season, her balcony was overflowing with blue clusters. For small spaces, I recommend the Top Hat or Peach Sorbet varieties. They stay under 3 feet tall and turn a breathtaking fiery red in the autumn, making them as beautiful as they are productive. One mature bush can yield up to 5 pounds of berries a summer. At $7 per organic pint in the store, this plant pays for itself and its pot in a single season. My friend hasn't bought a single plastic clamshell of berries since. Its high-end organic gardening turned into a simple, successful reality. 7. The Meyer lemon. And this is the heavy hitter I mentioned that literally pays for itself. If you've ever winced at the price of organic lemons, sometimes $1.50 or more for a single fruit, you'll realize how much of a goldmine this tree is. Meyer lemons are the holy grail of small space gardening because they are naturally semi-dwarf and crucially ever-bearing. This means your tree can simultaneously hold fragrant blossoms, baby green fruit, and heavy sun-yellow lemons. It's like having a permanent, restocking grocery aisle right on your patio. One established Meyer lemon in a pot can pump out 50 to 100 lemons a year. That's over $100 in annual savings from a single plant. But the real pro secret is that container lemons are actually easier to manage than those in the ground. You are the master of their climate. If a frost is coming, you wheel them indoors. If the soil needs a boost, you swap it out in minutes. You don't even need expensive fertilizers, just a bit of organic feed. And the reward is a balcony that smells like a luxury Mediterranean resort. If you're ready to stop overpaying for groceries and start harvesting your own gold, hit that subscribe button right now, ring the bell, so you never miss a tip that puts money back in your pocket while making your home beautiful. 6. The dwarf peach. Most people assume that growing peaches requires a sprawling orchard and a 20-foot ladder, but varieties like Bonanza or El Dorado have completely flipped the script. These are true genetic dwarfs, meaning they naturally stay at a manageable 5 to 6 feet tall without you ever having to master the art of pruning. They are essentially plug-and-play trees for your patio. What makes these trees an absolute must-have for small spaces is their incredible resilience. In the ground, peach trees are often victims of fickle spring weather. One late frost can wipe out an entire year's blossoms. But in a container, you simply roll your tree into the garage or under a cover for the night, effectively ensuring your harvest. One dwarf peach tree can easily yield 20 to 40 full-sized fuzz-covered fruits. If you've checked the price of organic stone fruit lately, you know they run about $4 a pound. But the real profit is the experience. Store-bought peaches are picked rock hard to survive shipping, but yours will ripen on the branch, accumulating sugars until they are literally bursting with juice. That moment when you bite into a sun-warmed peach and the juice runs down your chin, that is the exact moment you realize your balcony is better than any supermarket. We've just covered the basics, but the top 5 trees on this list are absolute game changers, including one coming up at number 4 that grows like a skyscraper but fits in a corner, no wider than a dinner plate. You won't believe it's real until you see it. 5. The dwarf cherry. If you've ever gone cherry picking, you know the struggle. The best fruit is always at the very top, just out of reach. But with modern dwarf varieties like Stella or Romeo, that struggle is officially over. These trees are grafted to stay compact, meaning you can harvest every single ruby red fruit while keeping both feet firmly on the ground. What makes cherries perfect for containers is their bloom power. In early spring, these trees transform into a cloud of white and pink blossoms that smell incredible. But don't let the beauty fool you. They are productivity workhorses. A single dwarf cherry tree can produce up to 15 pounds of fruit once established. Here's the secret to saving your harvest: cherries are notorious bird magnets. In a massive orchard, protecting your crop is nearly impossible. But since your tree is in a portable pot, you can easily toss a small piece of netting over it or move it to a protected area. You get 100% of the harvest, and the birds get nothing. At $8 a pound for fresh cherries at the market, this tree is essentially a high-interest savings account that pays you in delicious, heart-healthy snacks. 4. The columnar apple. If you've always written off the idea of an orchard because you only have a narrow balcony or a cramped porch corner, this tree is a total game changer. While traditional apple trees sprawl out like giant umbrellas, columnar varieties like the North Pole or Golden Sentinel grow perfectly straight, mimicking a sleek living pillar. These architectural wonders thrive best in temperate regions that provide enough chill hours, cool winter temperatures to trigger fruit production. However, because they are in pots, you are the master of the environment. Simply ensure they get 6 to 8 hours of sunlight and stay in well-draining soil. For those in warmer zones, low-chill varieties are available to keep your harvests consistent and heavy. Don't let the slender profile fool you. These are botanical powerhouses. A single skyscraper tree can soar up to 10 feet while staying less than 2 feet wide, yielding a staggering 30 to 50 full-sized apples per season. Because the fruit clusters directly against the main trunk, every apple basks in 100% sunlight. This results in a much higher sugar content and a crispness you simply can't find in a grocery store. It is essentially a vertical vending machine, dispensing premium, organic snacks for decades. If you're shocked that an entire apple harvest can fit in a space no wider than a dinner plate, smash that like button right now. It tells the algorithm to share these secrets with more small space growers and helps our community grow. 3. The perennial strawberry. Unlike the disposable plants often found at big box stores, choosing ever-bearing or day-neutral varieties like Seascape or Albion transforms your garden into a self-replicating fruit factory. These plants are the undisputed champions of space efficiency, flourishing in hanging baskets, vertical towers, or trailing elegantly from railing planters. They are remarkably resilient, adapting to almost any climate from chilly temperate zones to humid subtropics, as long as they bask in 6 to 10 hours of sunlight and nestle into rich, slightly acidic soil. The true magic of the strawberry lies in its ability to multiply your investment through a process that feels like a cheat code for gardeners. While a single mother plant can yield up to 2 pounds of berries in a single season, it simultaneously sends out runners, long-reaching stems that take root to create entirely new baby plants. By the second year, your original patch will have evolved into a sprawling, lush colony, providing a massive harvest of sun-ripened fruit for free. Every berry is a concentrated burst of nectar-like sweetness, delivering a flavor and fragrance that puts the expensive watery supermarket pints to shame. 2. The dwarf avocado. For years, gardeners believed you needed a massive tropical estate to grow this green gold, but breakthrough varieties like the Wurtz, affectionately called Little Cato, have changed the game. This true genetic dwarf is engineered for small spaces, topping out at a manageable 8 to 10 feet, making it the perfect centerpiece for a sunny patio or a spacious balcony. Avocados are sunshine junkies that thrive in subtropical or Mediterranean climates. Their primary requirement is Goldilocks, soil rich, well aerated, and never soggy. While they are sensitive to harsh freezes, the beauty of container gardening is portability. You can simply wheel your tree indoors or into a sunroom when temperatures drop. Once you master their watering rhythm during the flowering season, they become incredibly loyal companions. The productivity of a dwarf avocado is nothing short of spectacular. An established tree can yield 20 to 50 buttery, full-sized fruits every year. Given the soaring prices of organic avocados, this tree acts like a high-interest savings account that pays out in creamy superfoods. There is no greater luxury than harvesting a fruit at its peak oil content, offering a richness that supermarket varieties picked far too early for shipping can never hope to match. 1. The dwarf banana. If you're looking for a one-and-done crop that provides massive energy for minimal footprint, this is it. While wild bananas soar to impossible heights, varieties like the dwarf Cavendish or dwarf Namwa are genetically tailored to stay between 4 to 6 feet, making them the ultimate centerpiece for a sunny balcony or rooftop garden. Bananas are sun worshippers that crave a tropical or subtropical embrace. They thrive on heat-consistent moisture and a heavy feeding schedule of organic fertilizer. However, their secret weapon for small space growers is their portability. When winter chills arrive, these compact trees can be easily wheeled indoors or tucked into a sunroom. As long as they have 6 to 8 hours of intense light, they'll transform your home into a lush green sanctuary. The output of a dwarf banana is staggering. A single bunch can produce 50 to over 100 individual fruits, boasting a honey-like sweetness and creamy texture that supermarket bananas harvested green and gassed to ripen simply cannot match. But here is the real, perennial magic. After harvest, the mother plant naturally produces pups, or suckers, from the base. This means you plant once, and the cycle of free potassium-rich superfoods continues indefinitely, year after year. Building a sustainable high-yield food forest doesn't require acres of land. It only requires a bit of strategy and the right perennial partners. By choosing these 10 plant once, harvest forever crops, you are doing more than just gardening. You are investing in a living insurance policy. From the space-saving columnar apple to the self-multiplying dwarf banana, these plants work tirelessly to turn sunlight into nutrient-dense superfoods for your family. The beauty of container gardening is that it puts the power back in your hands regardless of your living situation. Whether you have a sprawling patio or a tiny apartment balcony, you can bypass the rising costs and bland flavors of industrial agriculture. Start with just 1 or 2 of these resilient varieties this season. As they grow and multiply, you'll find that the greatest luxury isn't just the fresh fruit. It's the security of knowing your garden is always working to feed you. Year after year,